Guys, we are in the top 5. I know, I can't believe it myself. It only took me blinking 2 weeks to get into the top 5. Anyway, coming in at number 5 is this one, 1983's David Bowie's Let's Dance. Now, I normally talk about the cover. Like in the cover, like in the whole, I think he's supposed to be wearing boxing gloves. They was Everlast. Oh, copyright. Yeah, it's the whole dance steps, isn't it? It's Let's Dance, like that. Yeah, I like the cover. It's more of a commercial Bowie looking, you know. Looks like he's coming out fighting. Ooh, all those critics, eh? All those all those haters. That's better. All those people that did not like this album. Yes, there's a lot of people that do not like this album for some weird reason. I think the music press went, oh my God, Bowie's going too commercial, and why doesn't he go back to the glam rock stuff, and why doesn't he do super monsters, not super monsters, scary monsters, and super creeps, super monsters. Sounds like a remix of that, doesn't it? Scary monsters and super creeps, that's the one. But yeah, they were like, why doesn't he go back to do that? Now, even Bowie mocked himself in an interview saying, this was my Phil Collins years. This is how mainstream I've gone now. I've gone way past doing obscure music and getting into the mainstream. And that's what this felt like. This was definitely the most mainstream Bowie has ever been. And I say that with, like, caution. And I'm like, yeah, say it with caution. Like, I feel like every time I say Bowie mainstream, it's like those two words don't really work. Because like I said, he was the innovator of post-modern rock and roll. And it doesn't seem like Bowie and, you know, commercialism works. You know what I mean? That word commercial doesn't fit with Bowie. It's like, he's an innovator. He certainly experimented with different music. But to call him commercial is almost like, oh, it's almost like saying a naughty word. Very naughty. But yeah, I like this cover. I like the whole commercial Bowie, you know, the dance steps of Let's Dance. Anyway, hopped enough on about the cover because I always do that. Let's look at the songs. Modern Love is really good. China Girl is awesome. Let's Dance is good. Without You is good. It's not that one, is it, by U2? Ricochet's good. Criminal World is a bit rubbish. Cat People putting up... Actually, I think this is actually the full title of this song is called Cat People Putting Out the Fire. It's just, I think they shortened it for the album. But the single, I might be quoting on this, is called Cat People Putting Out the Fire with Gasoline. Which is a bit of a silly idea. And last but not least is Shake It. So yeah, this was released in 1983, like I said. And like I said, this was going for a more commercial sound. It was Bowie getting into the mainstream because he had number ones, you know, he had Ashes to Ashes, went to number one, didn't he? But it seemed like Bowie was trying to move more into pop rather than avant-garde sort of music. But this is definitely the most commercial Bowie has ever been. Let's Dance got to number 1. China Girl got to number 1. Think Modern Love got to number 1 or number 2. It was definitely in the top 10 anyway, and Cat People was definitely in the top 10. But yeah, like I said, this is Bowie at his most commercial. So then people will go, hang a minute. If this is him at his most commercial, that means I should hate this thing. But I absolutely love this album. There's not a bad song on it. I did say there was one bad song, didn't I? Yeah, Criminal World is a bit... That's a little bit, it's not worth listening to. Everything else, great. But Criminal World's a bit, that's the red herring on this album. It's really not the best song on you. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely Bowie, Phil Collins, years commercial sort of music. But like I said, I still love it. I still absolutely love this I It's probably, like I said, I put it in my top 5 because it's in my top 5 for a reason, because I absolutely love Let's Dance. I'm sorry, I might be one of those people that don't actually hate this album and don't think it's all that commercial. I mean, there's commercial songs on it, but it's still innovative. It's still got stuff on there that's like not pop. It's almost like, like I said, post-modern rock and roll. Is this worth listening to? Absolutely. If you like commercial Bowie, then this is probably the most commercial you're going to get. But other than that, there's just some great songs, some great stuff to dance to. That's why it's called Let's Dance. Is this worth buying? Absolutely. Like I said, all the songs are top notch. All right, Criminal World is a bit, But other than that, all the songs are really, really good. It's definitely worth listening to, and it's definitely worth buying. So number 5, yes, we're in the top 5 people. 1983's David Bowie, Let's Dance, at number 5. There you go.